Imagine this. You are designing a cloud architecture or probably in a solution architect interview, and someone asks you, what should you put, an API gateway in front or go with application load balancer for this architecture? Now you're confused because both works at OSI layer 7 and both can handle API request. On top of that, both can scale automatically. Now the key is that they are made for different workloads and are used for different use cases. Now you need to understand these key differences to basically design better systems and also to provide strong answers in your interviews. Now let's uncover when to use which. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Harry and today I will break this down one step at a time for you. Now let's talk about routing first. With API Gateway, the routing is based on the HTTP method. For example, a GET request can go to one Lambda function and a POST request might go to a different one. With an application load balancer, the routing is based on the path. For example, the browse traffic could route to one service and the insert traffic could route to another one. And this works out of the box independent of the HTTP method in ALB. Now let's talk about security. API Gateway enforces HTTPS by default. It uses AWS managed certificates, so you don't have to do much to secure your traffic. On the other hand, ALB defaults to plain HTTP. So if you want to use HTTPS, you need to integrate it with ACM or Amazon Certificate Manager and then set it up yourself. Now let's talk about advanced controls. With API Gateway, you get a tons of features right out of the box, like usage plans, quotas, rate limiting, request validation, response mapping, and even DDoS protection. But with an ALB, those features aren't built in. You will need something like WAF or Shield for rate limiting and DDoS protection. And for validation, you usually handle that in your backend code. Now let's talk about the deployment as well. API Gateway support things like canary deployments, multi-account and multi-region Lambda integrations, and even Open API spec import and export. On the other hand, ALB does not have canary deployment support. It also tied to single region or account, and you don't have same easy spec migration options that you have with the API Gateway. Now let's move on to the service integrations. So API Gateway integrates directly with many AWS services, which is great, but it does not integrate natively with auto-scaling groups or Kubernetes. On the other hand, application load balancer is perfect if you have workloads running on EC2, need auto-scaling groups and Lambda. And it has a native Kubernetes integration as well. So it can act as an ingress controller or Kubernetes service. Now, important thing, timeouts and health checks. API Gateway has 30-second default timeout only. You can extend it, but you will need to raise a support request for that. It doesn't come with built-in health checks as well. But with ALB, the timeout goes up to 4000 seconds and you get health checks out of the box. Finally, the most important thing, the cost model. API Gateway is completely serverless, so you only pay when you use it. On the other hand, ALB does incur like small charges even when it's idle, but those charges are pretty small, with average traffic levels. So to wrap it all up, API Gateway shines when you are building serverless APIs and need advanced controls with deep AWS integrations. On the other hand, ALB is best when you are running traditional web applications, Kubernetes workloads, or EC2 Lambda-backed microservices. But if you are in an interview, the key is always that you should connect your answer to the workload needs, whether it's serverless, containerized, or VM-based. That's what will make your answer stand out. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Cloud with Harry, and drop a comment telling me which one you prefer, using ALB or API Gateway, or which one you like to basically learn more about. If you want me to create a deep dive video on ALB or API Gateway, please drop a comment. See you in the next one. Bye.